Coming up on City Spotlight, we're back on location in Paris. We'll first talk with Erin Hutchison, Executive Director of the Rec, about the latest physical changes and programs taking place at the Rec. Then we'll head over to Paris High School and talk Paris High School Bands with Dr. Kevin Pruiett, Director of Bands, about the current PCHS Bands and some of the history of the PCHS Bands. And finally, we'll talk with Paris High School Welding Instructor Jim Humrichous about the technical skills his students are learning at PCHS. We're back in Paris as Season 6 continues on location here on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. And welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. As you can see, we are on location for this episode. We are back in Paris in Season 6 here, and we were in Paris 3 times in Season 5, including the Season 5 finale, and we are going to start this first segment off at the Rec, and we welcome back a familiar person to the program, Erin Hutchison, the Executive Director of the Rec. Erin, pleasure to have you back on.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm glad to tell a little bit about our story.
Excellent. And last time we taped with Erin was exactly, well, not exactly to the day, but 2 years ago, February 2018. So we look forward to catching up with Erin on all that's transpiring in the Rec programs. I know you want to talk about your staff, but it's been 2 years. Erin, what physical changes have you seen at the Rec over the last 2 years?
You know, we are very blessed to have some excellent donors and sponsors in our community that help take care of us. And probably since the last time we taped here, I want to highlight the fact that the gym where you're taping now has been completely redone. We had the Edgar County Community Foundation gave us a sizable grant to take care of our floor and resurfacing it. The paint on the walls, brand new lighting. North American Lighting has also sponsored our gym as well, and they helped with some of those costs. And then also our front lobby has completely undergone a nice update as well, thanks to the Edgar County Community Foundation. So everything is looking super good around here.
Thank you for pointing that out. As I rushed in here from the snow that's snowing outside on this February day, the lobby does look brand new from the last time I was here. And you mentioned all your sponsors. I don't know if it's in the shot, but a wall of people sponsor banners here. So obviously, again, as we always, when we come to Paris, great community support with everything.
Phenomenal. I'm absolutely overwhelmed at the heart of this little community and how they take care of all the nonprofits, including us. So yes, in the gym you'll see we have front gym banner sponsors that take care of our needs for the front gym and other physical needs as well, capital needs. And then we also have individual sponsors as well that take care of all sorts of things. So.
Excellent. All right, any other physical changes other than this wonderful bright gym that we're standing in?
You know, actually it might have been since the last time you've been here. Everything gets fuzzy on the timeline, but I think we probably redid our upstairs fitness studio. So we didn't have a floor up there that was redone. The paint, we had a new paint job. Mirrors have been moved. It is literally our hub for all of our fitness classes, excluding spin. So yoga, all of our dance classes, fitness, that sort of thing. It's beautiful. Okay. It looks great.
All right, we'll definitely have some video as we're talking here of the different places at the Rec.
Yes.
Let's highlight some of the programming you have on now. I don't know if it's changed any in the last couple of years, but what programs do you want to highlight?
Well, I tell you what, right now, this is undoubtedly our busiest time. Everybody is, wanting to get in and take advantage of the New Year's resolution times, and so our membership increase is always in the very beginning of the year, and we're grateful for that, but we want to get them in here, we want to keep them here and keep them involved. So we have everything from youth sports, youth basketball is going on right now. Basketball is huge, so we have a women's league, a men's league, and a kids league. We service preschool all the way to 3rd grade for the kids. And then we also have a gigantic amount of fitness classes and spin classes. So I would say most of the time, this place is hopping with classes and events. So.
You were a storyteller on the Paris This Is Our Story program, and having seen you telling the history of the Rec and what it is, and those basketball leagues. Oh my gosh, the number of photos you had in that piece. Is that an every night thing, or is that a couple of nights a week?
It depends. So Tuesdays and Thursday nights are our men's league. They come in and play and just kind of have some pickup games. We do have some early morning leaguers that come in and play, like at 4 a.m. I mean, I can't even dream of getting up that early, let alone playing ball. But we have some great guys that like to do that. And then Saturday is youth basketball all day long, and then Sunday is men's league all day long, and then women's league is on Wednesday. So probably just about every night of the week, except for Mondays and Fridays, we've got basketball going on.
Basketball's bouncing all the time here at the Rec. Okay, you wanted to tell our audience about you have one of your largest fundraisers happening. We're taping here February 12th, and that fundraiser is coming up quickly.
That's right. It's on the 22nd. It's our annual fundraiser. This year it's called Diamonds and Pearls. So what we do here is we have a silent auction, a live auction, and a dinner. The silent auction begins around 5:45. People can bid on items. It's a super hopping thing, goes really quickly. Then we move on into our dinner at 7, and then our live auction is at 8, and that is an absolute riot of a time. I mean, it's just a great thing to experience here with all the support and everybody having fun.
You mentioned right off the top, talking about the physical changes and seeing the number of banners here and plaques of all the local contributions. You wanted to highlight your incredible staff, because it's not a one-person show here at the Rec. You have incredible staff.
Oh my gosh, my heart is overwhelmed with the support that we have here in our staff. I could not be more proud of the people that we have. We have people at the top of their game doing what they love, and it's evident here. We have such a positive vibe. Everybody cares about each other, loves each other, supports each other, and that translates all the way from the top down to our members. And so when you get a staff that cares and truly wants people to be in here and wants to get them involved, we are, I mean, you know, without sounding cliche, we are one big family here, and I'm proud to say that.
The Rec services not just Paris, but the surrounding area. So where do you have members come from? All over Edgar County, or I mean, it's not just a Paris place; it's an Edgar County place.
Correct, it is absolutely. We actually even tap into some of the Terre Haute, Indiana places, depending upon so thanks to NAL and some of our big. Corporations around town that people are coming in, they want a place to work out. A lot of people from NAL come over on their lunch period and work out, and they're not from around here. Some of them are from Indiana. So we boast the fact that we hit up not just the county but other states as well.
Again, to our viewers at home, maybe you maybe told this to us 2 years ago when we last taped with you, the importance of having the Rec here and what it provides for Paris and the surrounding area.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine what this community would look like without this place. It is such a vital thing for our community. I mean, it services everywhere from ages 6 weeks old for our babysitting to 99 plus. I mean, and I don't think many places can boast that. Our facility is set up in such a way that if you want to work out, you can have a 14-year-old over there and you can have a 98-year-old over there working out. And there are so many good pieces of equipment to tailor to all needs. And again, everybody's like a big family. They want to help each other out. So I think it's just, I mean, sometimes I'm at a loss for words at how grateful and how thankful and blessed we are to have something that services that many people of all walks of life.
We're in a new decade. It's the year 2020. Still kind of funny to say that. And the role of the Rec in Paris. It's here in another decade, and you've talked about the changes that you see here, this bright, beautiful gym and your lobby. And again, to have this place in this community, it is kind of hard to imagine Paris without this big structure here on Madison.
It absolutely, I mean, kids wouldn't have a place to go learn how to play sports. They wouldn't have a place to go play open gym. People would be very limited in how they meet their fitness needs. And, the classes, there are 2 other competitors in town, but neither one of them have classes, like actual fitness classes. I know Tom does a couple of things with self-defense and jiu-jitsu and that sort of thing, but nothing like what we offer here. And we would just be at an immeasurable loss without this facility.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add that let folks at home know that's going on at the Rec that you haven't mentioned already?
I think I've covered just about everything, but you got to come experience it for yourself. So I would encourage anybody that's never seen the Rec or hasn't been here since it was the YMCA, please come in and give us a look. We'd love to take you on a tour, show you around, and get you involved in our family. Excellent.
I'd like to thank the time of Erin Hutchison, Executive Director of the Rec. We appreciate having you again on City Spotlight.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And coming up next here on City Spotlight, we're going to head over to Paris High School for a couple of segments with some educators. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Paris.
we're back here on City Spotlight, this on-location episode on Paris. As you can see, we have changed locations now. We are back at Paris High School, a familiar setting here on City Spotlight. And we're here for the next two segments. And in this first segment, we are taping here in the Paris High School Band Room. We're talking all about the Paris High School Band, and we're welcoming first time to the program, Dr. Kevin Pruiett. He's the Director of Bands here at PCHS. Kevin, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to be here. Long overdue to be here, season 6 of City Spotlight. We're finally doing a segment here on the Paris High School Bands, and we look forward to learning about the current band year for Paris High School Bands and maybe a little history along the way. But first, Kevin, you're a first-time guest here on City Spotlight. Can you tell our audience at home a little bit about yourself, please?
Sure. I'm actually originally from Paris, born and raised here. Both my wife and I were born and raised here and came up through the band program. And went on, got a music education degree, and eventually went on for my doctorate in music. And I taught college for 13 years out at Oklahoma Baptist University, and then we decided about 6 years ago to come back home and, be a part of the band program again. So,
okay. So you told me beforehand you've been the Director of Bands here for 6 years. What is it like to teach now at your alma mater? Obviously, this is not the same building that you went to school at. Obviously, it was the old Paris High School. What's it like to be back on home turf and giving back in the way of directing the current Paris High School band students?
It's unique. It's a very unique experience. I was used to teaching college kids for 13 years, and in that situation, that setting, and kids who were going to school to study music. That was their career goal. And come back and be more of a part of the foundation of the music education was a lot different. Plus, coming back home to a place where everyone has known me since I was born, in some cases, is a lot different. And being a part of a band program that has such a long tradition it's a little intimidating when you first come back, because as a high schooler, I wasn't really aware of it. I just knew we were a big, powerful, fun band to be in. I didn't really understand everything that was going on in the background or even the history of it all until much, much later. And so,
let's talk a little bit about that rich history.
Okay.
What can you tell us about that?
Well, one of the more fascinating parts about our program is the connection that we have to A. Austin Harding, who A. Austin Harding was born, I believe, in Georgetown or Ridge Farm. I think it was Georgetown, Illinois, but moved here and was really one of the first band directors in Paris, Illinois, starting a small band that was a part of the community events. Well, he went on and eventually became the first band director at the University of Illinois. Is a legend in all band things. If you were to go to the U of I and talked to Barry Hauser, the band director there, former Eastern Illinois band director as well, Barry would tell you everything you ever wanted to know about A. Austin Harding and his importance to everything that has to do with band. So even starting back with him and going on up to famous names, at least in the Paris area. Lou Waterloo is a name that's always thrown around as a band director who was here for a long time, very influential. And then the era that I grew up in, we had Warren Sperry, who was here for at least around 30 years. A long time, taught a lot of band kids in that time. And so we were a town at that point in time of around 10, 11,000, had a high school, and I was there, about 800, and 240 of them were in band.
That's amazing.
When a quarter of your school is in band, that's a pretty impressive number,
That obviously shows when you have a quarter of your school, almost a third of your school is in it, the band program is a big deal.
We're happy to have, anywhere between, around 10-15% of the band, or 10 to 15% of the high school population in band is pretty impressive for us. But when you look at that big of a population, it was a pretty impressive time.
Let's talk about your current band, and let's start with the fall, which brings about marching band.
Yeah, it's a pretty unique program that we have here now. Most schools have their full marching band, and that is the band that does halftime shows, and if they do marching competitions, that's the same group. With us, my predecessor, Dan Tripp, had actually started a competitive marching band that was extracurricular. Okay. So it's different in that It is a non-auditioned extracurricular group for kids who want to be a part of it. And for the longest time, they were two separate entities.
Okay.
Now we have kind of combined them in that there are some kids that are not in it, but it's an extracurricular group that these are kids that really want to be a part of it. So out of that group, I think we have about 90% of our kids are in the competition group anyway. And we compete all around Central Illinois. We try to do the University of Illinois band competition, and this past year, for the first time, at least in my tenure, we did Illinois State University's Marching Band Championship as well. It's a pretty impressive thing, you know, coming from marching band when I was growing up, which was very structured and squad-like and not quite so extravagant. Right. And now it's all about props and sets and dancing. Yes. We have to teach marching band kids how to dance and do some things on the field. We also have a concert band that is everybody in the ensemble. Right. And we don't do a lot of competitions or anything with that group. That's more of a let's learn some of the classic literature, learn some new literature. We also have a smaller group. We have the jazz ensemble that takes out of that group. That's an auditioned group. Right. And so, much like a lot of other schools, depending on what ensembles my kids are in, there are some kids that probably perform anywhere between 35 to 50 times a year as a part of the Paris High School band. Wow. We're really active there as far as the marching band goes. At least 5 to 6 parades a year. You know, we try to serve the community as best we can. Whether it be at our Honeybee Parade or we're part of the Veterans Day and the Memorial Day services here in town. You know, as a person who's from Paris, I feel like it's important that the band be part of that. I remember back whenever I was in high school here and our 1544 unit came back from the first Gulf War and us being a part of that and just thinking how special that was. Right. And so I want our students to be a part of that as well. So,
certainly all the experiences that you've had, Kevin, being a part of the Paris bands back in the day, you obviously have embraced all the things, and we've learned a lot about the history and the current bands. I want to ask you one more thing in our last minute or two. On your Paris Marching Tigers webpage, you have a motto at the top of your page. It says, "A band is not proud because it plays well. It plays well because it is proud." If you could elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, trying to instill a sense of pride in what we do. Once again, I've said before, I don't think I understood everything that was going on with the Paris High School band when I was here. And it wasn't for a lack of trying from my teachers. It was just more of I was a high school kid and probably wasn't paying enough attention. I try to do what I can to instill a sense of pride in the history and tell the kids about the history of the band. Focusing on our level of performance, being a part of the community, all of those things, and letting them know why we do things a little bit more, hoping that they will take pride in it. Because I remember as a Paris High School student, we were proud because we were big, we were loud, we'd march down the street and chests held high, heads held high, thinking we were it. And when we did that at parades, like in my case, we went to the Orange Bowl parade, crowd reaction was insane for us. Right. We went to the Chicago St. Patrick's Day parade recently, and to see my students react the same way when a crowd reacts to how we perform, that's what that motto is all about. You know, take pride in what you do, and everything else comes after that.
Excellent. Learned a lot about the Paris High School bands, current and history. We'd like to thank first-time guest here on the program, Dr. Kevin Pruiett, Director of Bands here at PCHS. Kevin, pleasure to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Coming up next here on City Spotlight, we'll continue another segment here at Paris High School, and we'll talk with Jim Humrichous, welding teacher here at PCHS. Stay tuned.
Thank you for tuning in to City Spotlight. You can check out past episodes, including the one you're watching right now, on YouTube. To check out recent episodes of Central Illinois towns featured on City Spotlight, search on YouTube, City Spotlight, with the show number and the name of the town. Listed on your screen are the last 5 episodes of City Spotlight. And we're back here on City Spotlight, this on-location episode on Paris. Another segment here at Paris High School. We're now in the welding room with Jim Humrichous. He's the welding instructor here at Paris High School. Jim, welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure to have you on. Jim's a first-time guest, and we're going to talk all about this wonderful program he has here. Jim's third year in the program. Jim, before we talk about the welding program and what students do in this interesting room, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, I was in a class in 1978 at EIU. I'm a graduate of Georgetown High School. I was a class in 1978 at EIU. I actually didn't graduate till '85, and that's another story. So,
okay.
But
very good.
I have a wife, Terry. We've been married 39 years. We have 4 children, 3 grandchildren, and a dog named Jack. And this is my 37th year of actually teaching. I retired from Danville High School in May of 18 full-time, and this is just part-time.
Tell us a little bit about your background and what you instruct.
Well, my background is certainly the industrial education through EIU, and then I'm also certified to teach physical education. I did that for a while, and which is a long story too, but for 17 years, the majority of my career, I've taught industrial technology, anything from mechanics to welding to woodworking, construction trades, that sort of thing is where the majority of my career has been. I've also worked in the ag industry. I grew up on a farm and ran the family farm for a while. Also, I have welded for Hyster Corporation in Danville, welding frames for lift trucks, and worked in industry there in Danville.
Okay, very good. And so tell us the room that we're in right now.
Okay, this is actually the ag shop, ag mechanic shop. Right now we're in the process of restoring this livestock trailer. It actually belongs to a school board member, and we've put a new floor in. We're going to rewire it and do some painting and some welding in it, some steps and plates, and just generally restore it back to good condition.
Okay, tell us a little bit about the history of this this program. So this is your third year here. This welding program, is this due to Paris High School, or has this been going on since before you got here?
Well, I think ag has always been strong in Paris. The ag program has always been strong, and even back in the days when I was in high school, it was a strong program here at Paris with the Future Farmers of America and the ag program here. They contacted me and wanted to ramp up the industrial tech, particularly the welding area, because there is such a huge demand in this area for good welders. Correct. And really across the nation and worldwide, they're always in huge demand, very good paying jobs, and they wanted to ramp that up in this area, our industrial tech.
Last spring, the last time we were here on City Spotlight, episodes on Paris, talked with Assistant Principal Mark Cox. He told us a little bit about the program that you're instructing, had a little video there of your students. A lot of sparks were flying that day that I recorded. Right. So what transpires in this room? You told us about this trailer that you guys are working on. What are some other projects that the students have worked on this school year? Okay,
Ag Mechanics actually has 4 subject areas. We started out with a welding unit for 9 weeks, and then we moved to an electricity unit where we just wired up basic circuits, and then we moved to mechanics. We did a small engine unit. They dismantled small engine, put it back together, measure the parts, identify parts, tools, so forth. And then we moved into this trailer project here. And the next step will be, along with this mechanics unit, we do a lawnmower clinic. And anybody that has a lawnmower, wants to bring it in and get it ready to go for spring. Okay. We'll change the oil and sharpen the blade, anything else you want done, and it's hugely successful. Last year I don't know how many mowers we did, but there was a lot. Last unit of the year is a construction unit. Last year we built about mid-sized dog houses. Actually involved framing just like you would a small house, and shingle roofing and siding. And this year we're going to build an urban chicken coop. And so it's a contained unit you can have in your backyard within city limits.
Oh, wow.
And so
And these students that are part of the classes, what do they think about what they're doing?
They love it. I always tell people that these guys are a bright spot. They want to work, they like to work, and they're upset if they're not. And so it keeps me hopping to keep working in front of them, keep them going, because they're interested in what they're doing.
What skills are they taking away from this class?
Well, there's what we call soft skills, and this is where we seem to lack a little bit in this day and age. Generally, not necessarily here, but show up, follow instruction,
right.
Get along with your coworkers,
Right.
have good basic math and reading skills. Those are what we call soft skills. Those things that we used to not even think anything about.
Communicating with
Communicating,
Yeah.
you know, looking somebody in the eye when you speak to them.
Right. Right.
You know, those things. I don't directly teach those, but then again,
Right.
I do. And then certainly basic welding skills,
Right.
a pretty good work ethic, staying on task, you know, those sorts of things that, and then along with the work skills, welders learning to use about 3 different operations and processes.
Right.
They do fabrication, measurement, same thing with ag mechanics. You know, measurement, staying on task, completing your job, follow instruction, you know, that sort of thing, along with subject matter they're learning. The big demand for jobs are in the skilled trades, welding, construction, electricity, plumbing, and with a high school diploma, you can be accepted into an apprenticeship program or into a technical school,
Right.
Where they advance their skills. Other than the technical schools, the union trades programs that are teaching and instruction apprenticeships are absolutely free. And so someone can leave, if this is what they like to do, it's not something everybody wants to do, but they can leave with a, you know, making anywhere from $19, $20 an hour starting out up to sky's the limit by the time they're, you know, 25 years old with no college debt. And so that would be a plus.
We've learned a lot here on this episode here on Paris, here on City Spotlight, these last 2 segments at Paris High School. We'd like to thank the time of Jim Humrichous, welding instructor here at PCHS. Jim, it's been a pleasure.
Honored. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you to all of you for joining us for this latest City Spotlight on location episode on Paris. We'll see you next time.
City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.